Yo, welcome to the show. It's Boston's Banter with Frank the Bank and Keith LaCava. You know the answer. Talking sports, breaking down the play so raw. From the Celtics to the Sox, we giving you the score. Catch the vibe, we coming live. Filling up your feed, let the passion thrive. Every dunk, every run, we analyze the moves. Shout out to the fans, feel the rhythm and grooves. From Gillette to the Garden, we ain't missing a beat. Frank and LaCava bring the fire, can't accept defeat.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is pisser. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith LaCava. What's going on, Kirk Bro Bank?
Hey, not much. Christopher Broltasanti.
Broltasanti, I like that. We're on season 2, episode 2. What'd you guys think of that new opening?
You like that new opening,
sick,
Frankie?
dude. That's
like
my
that
guy
stuff,
right there.
bro?
He came up good. I'm
Yes,
going to give
sir.
you one of these.
Yes, sir.
It looks dope. That looks so good. Let's jump right into the Wicked Piss of News. We got a lot to talk about
Yes,
today.
we do, Frankie. Let's get right into it. We got another Stanley Cup champion. It's actually a repeat one, so let's break it down. So the Panthers win their second consecutive Stanley Cup, defeating the Oilers 5-1 in Game 6. Their second straight, like I was just talking about.
Yeah.
They beat the Oilers last year, too. This year in 6 games. Last year was in 7 games. Sam Bennett won the Conn Smythe, the MVP of the Stanley Cup final, after having an NHL-leading 15 playoff goals. And then Sam Reinhart in that game, Frankie, had 4 goals.
Yeah, he went crazy.
While the other star over there, Matthew Tkachuk, had one in the 5-1 victory.
That was crazy. 3 straight appearances for them. I mean, the Oilers just couldn't put it together. They're
Nope.
switching goalies left and right. It was kind of crazy. And, unfortunately, they lost again to Florida.
what I'm saying.
Florida again, 3 straight appearances. They're talking about a dynasty now.
And in all those Florida teams, you saw that thing, they're winning titles, then you got the Heat, in the past 20 years winning titles and everything, and then you got the Miami Dolphins. They got 1 playoff win. We only like to see that, man. Screw the Dolphins.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir. But Frankie, on the other side with the Oilers, man, star Connor McDavid, man, the Oilers got to make it their #1 priority to get him signed to a new extension, because also he recently said he has to do what's best for him and his family. Man, I'd like the Bruins to look at him.
Saying he only had like 1 or 2 goals the whole Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, they just bottled him up.
They did.
He
They
just
did.
could not put
Still
them
a
on.
great
So
player,
He's
though.
unbelievable. He's the best in the league, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Speaking of the Bruins, though, Frankie, we got a former Bruin. We got some good news that just happened today, actually.
Zdeno Chara inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir, man.
Congrats to him. He gets one of those for sure.
Former Bruins captain and hockey legend, man. He's officially, like we were just saying, been elected to the 2025 Hockey Hall of Fame. Well-deserved for Big Z. 6-time NHL All-Star, 1-time champ. 2000s and 2010s All-Decade Second Team. The James Norris Trophy, which is the best defender.
Yep.
And he was a 5-time All-Star hardest shot winner.
All the time.
Dude's
Like
that big, man. He better be.
Unbelievable. Animal.
Dude, I give the guys credit, though, that always tried to square up with him on the ice.
Oh, it's crazy. Good for him.
You know what I'm saying?
He was unbelievable for us.
Yes, sir, Frankie. But yeah, let's move over to the NBA Finals, man. We got another champion we're going to crown, and it's actually one that we haven't seen yet, considering they're a new team back from like 2008. The Oklahoma City Thunder, man, are now the new champs, and we had our first Game 7 in the NBA Finals since 2016. That was the Cavs and Warriors, bro.
Yep.
So like I was just saying, the Thunder won Game 7 over the Pacers, 103-91. SGA had 29 points and 12 assists in that game. And Frankie, he's the first player in 25 years to win MVP, the scoring title,
yep.
Finals MVP as the champ in the same season.
Yeah, he killed it. I mean, he kid's nasty.
Oh, absolutely, bro. It was so funny, too, man.
absolutely
We've always talked about them being, like, the youngest team in the NBA. Dude, I got a clip here, and look at these guys didn't even know how to open the champagne bottles, bro. They're looking at it, they're like, man, where's the Miller Lite at?
That's great.
Yes, sir. But Frankie, unfortunately, on the other side, there was a devastating injury, man. I texted you right after this happened
That was
because
crazy.
you knew what it was, too.
Oh, yeah. We saw it. Ugh.
Dude, Halliburton suffered a lower leg injury in the first quarter, later confirmed to be a torn Achilles. As we all knew, like I said, man, I texted you right at you. Oh, my God,
I
snapped,
saw people
bro.
saying, please stop showing it because it was so gruesome. You could see his leg just pop.
Bro, the guy had 9 points in the 7 minutes. He was just firing deep from 3. It was looking good. And the Pacers,
they were up 1 at halftime.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And that was after Halliburton went down, too. So, I mean, they could have easily won with Halliburton. But, Siakam said, and some of the guys said, it took the wind right out of their sails.
Oh,
and
it
just
did.
like, it was unfortunate.
He had to be carried out, bro, which was very unfortunate. See, you knew that he had the towel over his head. But I will say this, man. A lot of people were saying, oh, did he go straight to the hospital? I'm saying this is Game 7 of the Finals. And as you see in the clip here, man, he was welcoming his teammates, greeting them after the loss. They were all upset, obviously.
Yeah.
Pacers still haven't won a championship, but man, it's gonna suck because he's not gonna be there now all of next season, most likely.
Yeah, that hurts. That really hurt. He was so clutch for them down the stretch and everything else. And,
Right.
I mean, you talked a little bit about it though. Like the Thunder being the youngest team in the NBA. They're the second youngest team in NBA history to win the finals at 25.7 years old.
The 78 Trailblazers or something like
Exactly right. I was going to ask you if you knew it was the 76, 77 Trailblazers.
Okay.
Luke Walton's team, when they won, they were
Yep,
24.9, just under 25 years of age. And this year, the Thunder had the biggest scoring differential in history.
Yeah.
They were plus 1247 for points.
Yep.
So I thought that was crazy. That was even better than the 95 Bulls, which were just under 1,200. So just to give you an idea, best single season scoring margin in history, second youngest team in history. You know, the future's bright out there.
The future is very bright, and I actually, dude, think about it this way. So they're very young. So to contend and keep contending, they just did it as a young team. They're just going to keep developing and getting better.
Yeah.
They're not going to really need to acquire players because they've already got the camaraderie and the chemistry as champions, bro.
They're unbelievable, yeah.
You know what I'm saying, dude? But yeah, man, you know, seeing Halliburton get hurt like that wasn't good, man. But I just want to bring up something from Game 6, the game the Pacers won. So if you look at this clip here, dude, what the is Siakam doing, bro?
I don't know.
That was some scary stuff, bro, and they ended up getting the win there. But, dude, our friend Paulie from Sopranos has something to say about that.
That's what this is, you know. Satanic black magic. Sick.
Definitely looked like some satanic black magic, dude.
He was summoning something.
And, dude, honestly, if the Pacers won that series, I was going to start calling my guy the Thundertaker.
There you go.
You know what I mean? The eyes all white and everything. But
That would've been
unfortunately,
great.
man, they didn't win. I wanted the Pacers to win. You picked the Thunder. I picked the Pacers. But you got to take your hats off to the Thunder, a very young team. So congrats to them.
It was crazy.
But, Frankie, we got some Celtics news, brother.
Yeah, we do.
And we
Some
kind of
good
saw
ones.
this coming, bro. So the Celtics trade guard Drew Holiday to the Trailblazers for Anthony Simmons and 2 second-round picks. So the Celtics are expected to be involved in more trade, like we were talking about going into this offseason and everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had to get under the tax threshold. But, bro, I want to bring up this guy, Anthony Simmons, real quick. He averaged nearly 20 points a game last year, nearly 5 assists per game and 3 rebounds per game with the Blazers. And I like that, man. They said his defending skills aren't the best like Drew Holiday's and everything, but he can shoot pretty good. He's 26 years old. Love Drew Holiday, especially his defensive attributes and everything. But he only averaged 11 points a game last year. He's getting up there in age.
Simon's points per game, 19.3 a game this past season. 2.7 rebounds a game and 4.8 assists a game. So the only thing that Holiday had on him was probably steals, obviously, in his defense. And a couple rebounds. Otherwise, we're gaining 8 points a game, and we're gaining
That's what I'm saying.
Game. So it's like that's
Another
such a
shooter.
Another great trade by Stevens. You got to give him.
You
credit.
got to,
He's the GOAT.
hats off
He's
for that,
really
man.
the GOAT.
Especially when it comes to crunching the numbers, and he knew where they sat with the money and everything. So I mean, expect more, but that had to be done, man. I hate to say it.
kid's
Love
nasty,
Drew Holiday.
dude.
He's pretty good.
I used to bet on this kid on the over a lot for
Right.
his points. This kid's really good.
I'm glad we got him, Frankie.
Yeah, he's good.
So we got 2 more notable trades we're going to bring up within the NBA that happened actually just within the last few days, bro. So the Suns are trading Kevin Durant to the Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 pick, in 5 second-round picks, Frankie. The Rockets were the number 2 seed in the West last year, and the Rockets lost a lot of depth, bro.
Yep.
But the Suns added great depth, mind you, with Green and Brooks. You know, you already got guys over there in Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Bol. So
all those picks too. I mean, honestly, it was a good trade for both teams, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
feel like the Rockets probably gave up a little bit more than
that's
they
what
needed
I'm saying.
to. I mean,
And
Brooks, good player, really good defensive player, and he just always, he's like that
He's
flea,
in
that
your
gnat
face,
that's
right.
always out there, like just in your face. So,
Right, bro. But I mean,
that's what you need, though.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
You need guys like that
to get in other guys' heads and everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, Kevin Durant, we'll see how he does with the Rockets. He's also getting up there in age, but that dude's a beast, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got one more that just happened a few hours ago, Frankie. In the Pelicans trade, CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, the Clinic, in a future second-round pick to the Wizards for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey in the number 40 pick. And now Poole gets added to the Pelicans with Zion, DeJounte Murray, and Bruce Brown.
Yep.
While the Wizards are getting better, they already have Chris Middleton, Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, and now they got CJ McCollum and Olynyk. They're getting better, bro, on paper.
It's not bad.
That's
at
what
all.
I'm saying,
I
bro.
like it.
Yes, sir. But Frankie, we got some more NBA news here. And the Lakers. Let's break it down real quick. So Jeanie Buss and the Buss family have agreed to sell a majority stake in the LA Lakers to Mark Walter, the current owner of the LA Dodgers,
saw
for a
that.
reported $10 billion, bro. And if fully finalized, which it most likely will be, Frankie, it would be the largest sale of a professional sports team in history, surpassing the recent Celtics deal for $6.1 billion.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Jeanie Buss will retain her role as the team's governor after the sale. But you want to know something crazy? So back in 1979, when her father, Jerry Buss,
Yeah, I
bought the
saw
team,
that.
he bought the Lakers for $67.5 million.
I know.
And now they're selling for $10 billion? A $9,932,500,000 difference, bro. That is crazy.
It's quite the investment.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. And Frankie, we got one more piece of NBA news here, and it seems to be a recurring theme for young players, and I got 2 words that these guys got to learn by. Henry Ruggs. So Grizzlies big man Zach Edey got caught doing 101 miles per hour in a 55 zone. Foolish and reckless, if you ask me, dude. The big guy is now facing getting charged with reckless driving, and rightfully so. You can't be doing dumb like that, dude. I don't care how much money you got, what kind of car you got, especially in a 55. Come on, bro. You should have been arrested.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
We would have been arrested,
dude,
probably.
We would have been all over the front of the Boston Herald.
Damn right.
So, Frankie, let's move over to the Red Sox update, man. Hit that button.
Hit it. Do it. It's like they did good last week.
That's what I'm saying.
And then, they ran. So in the 13 games, they were 10-3, and now they're starting to lose again. Dude. It's just kind of crazy. So
it's not looking good right now, bro. We're trending downward again.
It's just a roller coaster. Honestly, we knocked off like 5.5 games of the gap between the Yankees and us, and then all of a sudden we're just losing like crazy. We were up in 2 of these games that you're about to talk about too,
sir.
And they lost late. The bullpen again
just took the words right out of my mouth.
Crazy,
dude.
you know what I mean?
So let's break it down, man. They're sitting at 40-40 on the season, just at 500, bro. So hey, let's see what they did this past week. So their 6-game win streak was snapped this past Tuesday, losing 8-0 on the road versus the Mariners, followed by a 3-1 win versus the Mariners to close out that series last Wednesday. Then this past Friday in San Fran versus the Giants, an old friend, Rafael Devers, we won 7-5. Devers was 0 for 5 in that game. We'll show the clip of him versus Aroldis Chapman.
You know the history between these two, and that was a big first out because you do not want to face him with a runner on, and the ability he has to tie this game up. Now you just go right after him.
Different circumstances here, and he struck him out. 102 to Fan Devers. 0 for 5.
The Raffy we like, Ceddanne Rafaela, hit a tie-breaking solo home run in the top of the 6th. I'm going to show the clip there.
They need him to turn it on. Swinging a high fly ball, left center deep. Lee racing back. See you later. That is gone. Ceddanne will touch them all. The Red Sox back in front. Back and forth we go in San Francisco. Are you kidding me? Ceddanne goes way out of here. A solo shot. Have a night, Ceddanne.
He was also a triple away from recording a cycle, Frankie. He had a single, double, home run, and even robbed Devers of a potential extra base hit with a nice leaping catch. And I'm going to show that clip from that game. We had 3 clips from that game.
Rafael Devers against the Red Sox, second at bat tonight. 3-2 Giants lead. And a high fly ball in the left center field, well hit. Rafael is back there at the wall. He leaps up and takes it down. That thing just kept on going. One of those vintage Devers back spinning line drives.
So hell of a game by him, and also Devers, bro. But like you said, Frankie, the next game. Then an unfortunate 3-2 loss at the Giants last Saturday. Devers hit his first home run as a Giant, and here it is.
Towards the shortstop position. It's one high and deep to left and out of here.
Of course it had to be against the Red Sox, right? Come on, man.
Terrible.
Then on Sunday, a second straight loss to the Giants, this time 9-5 to lose that series. Ceddanne Rafaela actually had a home run in that one, but I'm not going to show the clip because we lost that game, obviously. Jaron Duran and manager Alex Cora were actually ejected for arguing a call in that game, too.
I saw that. That's crazy, yeah.
And then lastly, Frankie, to begin the Angels series in LA, a second straight game, the Sox lost 9-5. Trevor Story had a home run in that game, but dude, what's going on, man? 2 straight games, you lose 9-5 too? What's going on, bro?
They were up in both of them too. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I don't like it.
So very unfortunate, but hey, man, let's get past it, bro. We got some more news to talk about. So the Sox are sending infielder Kristian Campbell to the AAA amid his recent struggles. Campbell, who signed an 8-year, $60 million contract this spring, was hitting .301, .407, and .495 at the end of April, but Frankie has been hitting .159 since the beginning of May, including .243 and .222, so he's now getting a chance to reset and work on his struggles in Worcester. I like this kid, and I want to see him figure it out, but yeah, man, you got to see what you can do to help him.
It's crazy. They paid him right off the bat, too.
Right,
I mean,
that much money.
He started off pretty good in the first 5 or 6 games. Then they just gave him this huge contract. But I mean,
bro,
you expect big things from him, so you're probably going to save money as long as he progresses the way you want him to. But it's not going to be good for his confidence, obviously.
Nah, bro. Like you said, you want to see him develop. I'm hoping the same thing for Roman Anthony because he's been kind of playing like recently too.
And all of a sudden he fell off too. Yeah, it's a young team. I mean, now Endeavors is gone, so it's like someone's going to hopefully step up. But, I mean, it doesn't look like they're making the playoffs. We thought they'd be pretty good this year. And
they had a chance at wild card last week.
I'm saying. That's a fact.
But, I mean, we'll get to that next week, see how they're doing next week. Hopefully they're trending upwards.
Right.
But, Frankie, we got some NFL news. And we got two guys from the Colorado football team last year. We got good and bad news. Frankie, what you want first?
Let's go with the good, obviously. Let's hear it.
Yes, sir. So we're going to start here with Jags rookie wide receiver / defensive back Travis Hunter officially signing his 4-year, $46.65 million fully guaranteed contract. And Frankie, that's just not it. His $30.57 million signing bonus is paid entirely up front.
Full, yeah, that's
Dude,
crazy.
Setting a new record, making him the first non-quarterback not drafted first overall to receive his entire signing bonus up front. They clearly like what they see out of this kid.
I'm saying he's going to be unbelievable. So
Right.
it's like
Justin thinks he's going to be a bust. Who knows? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there.
I don't think he's going to be like fantasy relevant in terms of like he's not going to. I feel like they're going to play him more at corner than at wideout. They're going to play him at wideout as well, but I feel like in the NFL, there's plenty of wideouts.
He's going to provide a lot.
He's going to be good at wideout, but his defensive prowess should be on display more.
Absolutely,
in my opinion.
absolutely, bro.
So we'll see though. But he's nasty at both. So I mean, they could go crazy and he could play every snap.
He's a generational player for sure. Yeah. So I mean, the Jags are they're hoping it pans out for them with all that money they're dishing out.
I'm saying. Hey.
All right, let's get into the bad news for the guys from Colorado. So Browns rookie dumb Shedeur Sanders was cited by police early Tuesday morning for driving 101 miles per hour. This is the second time this month he's been cited for speeding, bro. 40 miles per hour over the speed limit. And he also failed to appear in court. The kid clearly has a lot of growing up to do. Both him and Edey need to get their heads out of there before they hurt or kill somebody or even themselves.
I don't know. It's like you talked about Henry Ruggs and what happened with the Henry Ruggs. I mean, Henry Ruggs was driving 156 miles an hour.
Yeah.
2 times, doubled the legal limit for alcohol, killed a young lady.
And her dog.
And he's up for parole next year. He was just in the news as well. We talked about this. You actually asked a good question when I sent that text to you. Is like, do you think he'll have another shot in the NFL? And I answered and I said, I don't think he's good. He's not like a generational player.
Right.
Where I feel like they may look past some of that. But if it were me or you at any job, it's like you probably wouldn't even get like hired at some of these jobs. So do I think he deserves to have another shot? Absolutely not. And do I think he'll be on some sort of exempt list? I mean, he killed a young girl. So, I mean, at the end of the day, 156 miles an hour.
That's reckless, pure reckless.
Even if it's 75 miles an hour, like you're going 80 miles an hour over a speed limit. And it wasn't. It was on like a regular road.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't on the highway.
It was almost 100 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Urban area.
That's what I'm saying.
Could crash to a building, more cars. So, yeah, man, I don't think he deserves a second chance. But, I mean, who knows if, like, Josh Jacobs, his buddy from Alabama, they were teammates.
Yeah.
He seems to think teams are actually keeping an eye on him and
everything.
Listen,
he was fast. Sometimes you see, like, you saw Kareem Hunt got in trouble and, for assault and kicking a young lady and all that.
He
but
barely
it's like,
touched her, bro.
At the end of the day, it's like he got another shot, but this is completely different, in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, in Hunt, and to me, it was a very good player, but it's such a big. He killed the person.
Right.
Like, it's like
absolutely.
I don't know. I don't think he's gonna get another shot. I don't think he should get another shot.
No, I agree. But Frank, the only reason I was laughing is I actually saw this funny picture, and I'm gonna show the pic here. So Kirk Cousins was cited going nearly 42 miles per hour under the speed limit. That's some funny shit.
I love that. Yeah, he probably was.
Yes, sir. And Frankie, we got some more NFL news here. And like Antonio Brown last week, we have another former NFL player involved in some drama.
Oh, this is awesome.
So former All-Pro NFL running back Adrian Peterson was involved in a fist fight over a poker game, bro. So you guys saw the brief clip, like I was just saying, leading up to the fight. You can actually see the full version on TMZ Sports. Yep. People could be heard yelling and attempting to encourage the two to stop throwing punches while knocking over chairs and bumping into furniture. Yeah, and actually, my cousin, dude, I know. So my cousin Joey actually sent me something he read on the New York Post regarding what led up to the fight. So apparently AP had pocket kings raised pre-flop, and this dude had Q10 called the large raise. AP bets flop in turn, which the other man kept stone cold calling because he had a draw. So the dude rivers a straight, and when AP bets pot size, the dude goes all in and starts laughing at AP, trying to induce a call. So AP, in fact, called and became irate when he saw the lucky hit. He then shouted to his side chick, "Honey, he called my pre-flop bet with Q10s. Unbelievable," while still laughing at Adrian Peterson. And then he just had enough, bro. He got up and they were squaring up, ready to go.
It was wild. I play a ton of poker.
You do, yes. And that's why I knew you'd love the story.
I mean, obviously it sucks when you get riveted like that, and it's just like, it's crazy. And it obviously sucks if somebody's calling you with, a marginal hand and you have a premium hand like that. But the little guy, he was like a lot smaller than AP.
I give him props.
He held his own, man.
I give him props.
He held his own. He popped AP a few times. AP slipped. It looked like he had him on the ropes for a minute, but then AP finally got close enough to grab him and kind of tossed him around.
That's what I'm saying.
That little dude held his own against AP. I'm
Bro,
sorry.
I'm telling you right now, I'm never squaring up with AP or any former NFL running back.
I'm telling you right now, that guy can box.
Yeah,
he played.
Yeah, he could. He held his own for sure. So that was funny to see. And AP,
crazy.
man, you got to stop playing poker if he's going to start throwing punches like that.
Yeah, that's poker. It's unfortunate. You get mad for a second. You get mad at the card. You don't get mad at the guy. But I mean, the guy's egging him on. Then maybe that's a little different.
It seemed like he was being a pain in the. So we'll see what happens
who
with
knows?
that, bro. But Frankie, we got some more NFL news here, and we got a retirement for a notable player. Good defender, too. So former Ravens and Jets linebacker C.J. Mosley has retired after 11 seasons in the NFL. Dude was a beast. First-round pick out of Alabama in 2014, 17th overall, to the Ravens, where he played till 2018 before joining the Jets. Mosley played in 133 games, totaling 1,082 total tackles, nearly 700 solo tackles.
Animal. He was so good.
He was 12 sacks, 10 forced fumbles, 9 fumble recoveries, 12 INTs, and Frankie, he had 2 defensive touchdowns as well. Guy was a 5-time Pro Bowler as well as a 5-time second-team All-Pro, and Mosley was limited to only 4 games with the Jets last season due to toe and neck injuries, totaling only 17 tackles and 13 solo. The Jets then released him on March 12th, and with no interest, for a banged-up 33-year-old linebacker, he felt it was the right time to call it a career, and he definitely had a good one.
Great career.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And then, Frankie, just 2 free agency signings here I'm going to bring up real quick. So the Ravens signed former Packers All-Pro cornerback Jair Alexander to a 1-year, $6 million deal.
Good signing for them.
Dude, we said he was going to find a home quick. I didn't think it was going to be the Ravens, but, bro, he actually turned down more money from other teams to join the Ravens, and clearly he likes what he sees from them. They're the Super Bowl contenders. Lamar Jackson.
Huge for them.
Right. And actually, Carolina, where he grew up most of his life, dude, they wanted him, and he turned down more money for them to sign with Baltimore, too.
Panthers aren't going to be anywhere near as good as Baltimore. That's why.
And then Texans signed former Raiders troubled first-round pick cornerback Damon Arnett to a 1-year deal. He was recently a member of Houston's UFL team, the Houston Roughnecks. And his NFL career, short time with the Raiders, Dolphins, and Chiefs, was cut short after multiple arrests in legal battles. He appears to have made a positive change in life and is getting another chance in the NFL. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah, see what happens there. Good stuff, man.
Good stuff, brother.
We ain't got no Foxborough focus today, but we got a fun lava round. So let's jump right into the lava round. We're going to do way too early rookie fantasy sleepers.
I like it.
All right,
I like it.
We're going to jump off first at QB. And I mean, this position, there's really only a couple guys that we can really even talk about that will even get any fantasy relevance.
That's
really,
what I'm saying.
It's 2 or 3 guys, honestly. So it's either Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, or maybe Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion. So
I have somebody who's none of those 3 guys.
Well, then let's start it off. Who do you got first? Who
So
are you
Frankie,
jumping off with?
The consensus is to go with, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, or Cam Ward.
Yeah.
But Cam Ward was the number 1 pick, but still, man, he wouldn't be drafted high in leagues. But Frankie, I'm going to go with quarterback Tyler Show of the Saints.
Oh, that's a good pick. Yeah, he could absolutely win that job over
So, strong arm, good mobility, and has experience and the ability to adapt, having played in 7 years in college football across 3 different programs. He's currently slated as the QB1 over there in New Orleans, considering the other 2 quarterbacks are Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
that's
bro?
a good pick, yeah.
And the Saints have talent across their offense, Frankie, barring any potential injuries like we saw with their offense all of last year with Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. They brought back Brandon Cooks. They got Taysom Hill. And they have a decent offensive line. They drafted a left tackle in Kelvin Banks Jr. in the first round, bro. He has a lot of upside considering the situation he's in. So I would say if, you're dealing with quarterback injuries, take a look at him on the waiver wire.
That's not bad at all. I mean, I didn't even think of him. That's a great spot for him. And they have a pretty good offense, I mean, in comparison to some of these other teams. So it's like, I mean, Sanders has the mobility. If you want to take a late-round flyer on him, you can. Cam Wood, obviously being the number 1 pick, you can kind of go with him and hope. Average draft pick right now is 156, roughly, in Yahoo. He's rostered on 36% of teams, so he's getting drafted by about 36% of people in current fantasy statistics in Yahoo. Jackson Dart's only 5% being drafted, which again, they have the toughest schedule in the league.
And their offensive line sucks.
They're not going to be very good. And his ADP is over 200, 213th.
Yeah.
And then Shedeur Sanders is actually rostered in 6% more than Dart, but his average draft pick is 220. So he's actually further back in the draft.
Right.
If they're even drafted. So again, there's not a ton of sleepers in my opinion this year. If you grab Show or if you grab Ward late, and hopefully you can have him if you're in a keeper league for the following year, and or maybe again if Sanders is there and he keeps maybe winning the job, it's something to look at there. I don't feel like Jackson Dart's going to be fantasy relevant this year or next. So
yeah,
at the end of the day,
I'd say like you just said with Sanders, Ward, or even Tyler Shaw, man, who he could be pretty good in New Orleans, I think.
Yeah, he looks good. Yeah, I forgot about him. That's a good one. So,
yes, sir.
Why don't we jump over to running back? Who do you have at running back?
So, Frankie, I actually got the other guy at Ohio State, not our boy Travion Henderson, but I got running back Quinshawn Judkins of the Browns, bro.
He's good. He was on my short list, too.
That's what I'm saying,
There's a lot of decent running backs this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Fantasy rookies.
The reason I bring this guy up, he has potential for a large workload. The only other running back that stands in his way is Jerome Ford, who's been a little banged up in passing his career. Who, in my opinion, isn't also a consistent 3-down back. So even though Ford is slated right now as the RB1, I could see him taking over as the starter.
Judkins is a good player, man. I actually thought about taking him as my sleeper, too. So that's a good pick.
Well, that's the thing, too. He actually stands at 6 foot and weighs nearly 221 pounds. He ran a 4.48. He's kind of got the same build as Nick Chubb. He's got great vision to find the lanes and make effective cutbacks. And like I was just saying, man, the same size as Nick Chubb. They're very familiar with a running back with that body. So I think they'll know how to use him and get him to be good.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I mean, he's going to be good this year, I think. So
who you got, Frankie?
I'm going with R.J. Harvey. I mean, it's just
Broncos.
He's on the Broncos. He was the 60th pick overall in this year's draft. Current ADP is 50 overall. He's being about the 20th running back taken in fantasy mock drafts currently. He landed in a good spot. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of competition there either. Jaylene McLaughlin, and Austin.
Well, they just got J.K. Dobbins,
and Dobbins just got signed.
He's
but
banged up majority of his career.
I was just going to say the biggest one is J.K., but J.K. Dobbins, again, more of a guy that gets injured a ton. I feel like RJ is going to fit in really good with, Peyton likes to run 2 running backs anyway. So it's like if you go back and look at like what he did with Kamara and stuff, like I feel like Sean Payton's a great coach for running backs.
Absolutely. This
kid had 1,577 yards and 22 touchdowns last year for Central Florida. So it's like this kid can score. He's fast. He's a great player. So I feel like he landed in a good spot where they're going to get, the other 2 guys, for him to get on the field, easily beat out S-Team in McLaughlin, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So it's him and JK, and JK is going to get
It's a 1-2 punch.
I'm saying it's a good situation pick.
Like you said, Sean Payton, man, especially with the Saints and everything. Look at the times he had Deuce McAllister, Reggie Bush. He had Pierre Thomas and Reggie Bush. He likes to use 2 running backs, so that's a good point there.
I love it.
And honestly, I would have went R.J. Harvey too, but honestly, I like him, and I do like Quinshawn Judkins.
That was really close for both of them.
Right.
I like Johnson too on Pittsburgh. So
I didn't want to go Travion Henderson because let's face it, I mean, I love Travion Henderson, what he brings to the table for the Patriots, but he ain't going to be the all-purpose back. He's going to be out there on the third downs receiving and
he's going to catch some balls, though. I mean,
he will.
And any of our fantasy guys watching this, don't draft our guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's get over to the wideout. I went with the hometown guy. I went with Kyle Williams.
That's one of my receivers too, bro. Good stuff, Frankie.
Okay.
All right. I got Kyle Williams on the board.
69th pick overall in the NFL draft.
Yep.
He's hopefully will play some slot. And Josh McDaniels loves to use a slot guy. Look at Wes Welker over the years and Julian Edelman.
Yes,
right?
sir.
This kid's a lot faster.
Yes,
he's
he
a
is.
great seam route runner. His ADP currently is 166. He's only being drafted in 32% of leagues too. So not a lot of people are drafting him.
No.
If you can get him late, I mean, I feel like he's not bad. He's the 69th overall draft pick this year, and he's like almost 69th pick being taken in these drafts for wideouts too. So in the fantasy draft, so it's kind of cool.
I actually looked at the Patriots depth chart, just to see. I know it's way too early and everything, but he's actually slated as their starting slot receiver right now.
I'm saying.
I love this kid's mentality because he recently did an interview where he said, "Don't drop the money," meaning that he treats every ball that comes his way as a bag of money, and if he drops that money's going to go to somebody else.
Good.
That's what I'm saying. We even seen the highlights, man. We brought it up when we drafted him burning guys in college, especially Travis Hunter.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So good pick with that,
like
Frankie.
that.
Kyle Williams, brother.
Well, who's your second? What do you got for your other guy? The other wideout. We got 2 wideouts.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to bring up wide receiver Jack Beck of the Raiders.
Ooh, I like that pick. This kid's story is unbelievable if you haven't seen it about his brother and stuff.
I actually haven't seen the story.
Oh, my gosh. This kid is one of those guys that is just going to grind and grind and grind until he makes it, and that's what I love about this kid. That's a great pick.
So noted as a selfless team-first playmaker, and I feel like he could get a lot of attention on this offense. Other than Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers, the other pass catchers aren't really as appealing for Geno Smith, and they all kind of look like Trey Tucker's nothing really. I mean, I know you had to start him a few games, but let's face it, he ain't going to be the main guy over there.
Nothing special.
He's also gotten Cooper Kupp comparisons considering he wins more with his route running technique and physicality than speed. He only ran a 4.59, so it shows that he doesn't have blazing speed, but he likes to be physical out there with his routes. Constantly getting praised for his work ethic like you were talking about, Frankie, and the coaches love that in rookies, especially rookie wide receivers. Pete Carroll's there too. He's a veteran coach, an older coach. He wants to see the young guys work hard. Last year at TCU, he had 62 catches, 1,030 134 yards and 9 touchdowns. He also spent time at LSU where they bred wide receivers, bro, pretty good.
This kid's nasty. And like I said, I saw her story on ESPN, and it was one of those things where it just like tears your heart out, like with his brother, and they were both playing. It was really good to watch.
I'm gonna have to look at that. I didn't even see that story.
He's the man like that. So
yes, sir.
My second wideout is Jaden Higgins, and actually
From the Texans. I wanted the Patriots to draft him. Actually,
the Patriots were looking at drafting him.
Yep.
And we had the 38th pick in the second round, but unfortunately, he went 34th overall to the Texans.
Out of Iowa
They
State.
lost Diggs.
Yep.
Dell is always banged up and injured.
He's gone all of next year.
All of next
Probably
year.
career.
That was a really bad injury. So, really, it's just him and Nico Collins, really. So, ADP currently in mock drafts is 135th overall. He's rostered on 45% of Yahoo leagues. So, this kid's got plenty of talent and a good landing spot for him here. So,
and I think he's going to get a lot of attention. They actually made pro comparisons to Nico Collins with him.
Yeah, the kid's good. The kid's real good.
They got that other receiver over there, Jalen Noel, too, but I'm going to face it, man. With the size of Jaden Higgins, man, he's going to be getting a lot more looks than Noel.
Yeah, they have two young guys. I mean, they're both kind of sleepers, but this Higgins kid is the real deal. Patriots wanted him. So. Yeah,
and I don't think Christian Kirk, man, with his injury history, he's over there in Houston now. I don't think he'll be getting a lot of targets either.
Yeah, good stuff there. And then we're going to go tight end. I know you got Loveland and you got Warren at the top tier guys. 2 of the top 15 picks were these two.
Yes, sir.
But I actually went a little deeper, and I went with Mason Taylor.
Bro.
Did you really?
Yes, dude, right there,
Stop
bro.
it. I swear, we don't compare notes.
Exactly.
Ever. So
we don't ever compare notes.
He was a 42nd pick
yes,
overall.
Sir.
Went to the Jets,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Falls into a pretty good situation there. Fields going to be having to dump the ball off a lot. The Jets are going to be playing from behind because they're not very good,
that's
in my
what I'm
opinion.
saying.
So this kid and Garrett Wilson are really like the two guys there. So I feel like that's great. His ADP is 186th right now, and he's only rostered in 13% of leagues. So it's like, take a late round flyer on a tight end guy like this. That's great.
So, Frankie, we all know he's the son of former pass rush legend Jason Taylor, so the athletic genes are there, obviously. And at 6'5", 251 pounds, running a 4.6 40-yard dash, and being listed currently as the tight end one on the Jets depth chart. I see him having a decent rookie year, but like you were talking about with Justin Fields and tight ends, quarterback Justin Fields likes to utilize tight ends. He had a high rate of targeting tight ends in Chicago. He had a passer rating of 112.3, which was 7th in the league when passing to tight ends.
That's what I'm saying.
And like you just said, the Jets, other than Garrett Wilson, they don't have bro on that offense. Let's face it, who do they got after Garrett Wilson? Oh, Josh Reynolds?
I'm telling you right
Come
now,
on.
This kid's going to be a sleeper. So
that's what I'm saying. And he looks to be a good red zone target, Frankie, with his strong frame and good hands. He did only have 6 touchdowns in college, but Frankie, 5 of them came in the red zone. So, we'll see what happens with those picks, dude. Good stuff on that one, brother.
Yeah, great live around, great show. I mean, it's been a minute. Oh.
Got another guest.
Who?
All right, let her
guest.
What the
What?
Yes, it's me. My path to personal growth has been...
That's awesome and everything, Shirley Temple, robot, whatever, but hey, we're trying to do a show here.
We were having a conversation.
What the Frankie, she kind of looks familiar, man. Could you break it down for me?
Yeah, I know what this is. We got Megan 2.0 coming out this week. The first one was pretty good, man, so go check that movie out.
I think we can agree that my biggest mistake was that I cared too much. I was programmed to protect Katie.
Okay, well, no Katie here, and nor is she in trouble.
Yeah, what the is she talking about? Oh, hey, Frankie, let's get out of here.
From Beantown to your town, stay wicked, pisser.
From the TD Garden to your garden. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
We're out.